Lions, let's get it. Our first match here of mid-season, year 10 of our Brawlhalla Esports.
And you can see it on the blue team. When Ant pointed it out, Volst is on the Black Knight. That's the Orion crossover, of course. And then Mojakin is on that Wusheng. She called it out.
Okay. We're starting off. So right down the middle, though, which is kind of what I want to see. You know, I don't want to see like getting absolutely decimated right off the rip. Especially for our first match. Laura's going to look crazy here off to the side. Volst getting some nice damage out here as well. Hold up, a little turnaround.
Now, I do like you saw like very purposeful decision-making from the blue team. Like, Lores went in with that D-Sig all the way, slide charging it all the way down, almost off-screen, and blue team just completely disengaged from it and wanted to push the man advantage on a Kyna. That was their main choice there. Unfortunately for them, we're seeing the blue team completely split. There's a KO on the left side. A little bit of team damage there after the side light neutral air into the in light.
Volst is kind of moving there for a second. At least let Mojakin get back to the stage. Mojakin get a double recovery, a triple.
Dude, not enough to KO off the top. One of the reasons people love playing Kai is that stat line, one of the best stats. Oh, he doesn't quite get the save. He gets bonked on the head. That's a full team wipe. This is actually a blue team lead. Volst is the only one on final stock.
And he is, oh, yeah, he's going to get sent out of there, though. But still, I mean, being able to be the last person to lose your first stock definitely feels good for the team. Mojakin not taking too much damage here as being the first person to lose their first stock. As of right now, though, right as I say that, he's starting to take quite a bit of damage in that last 10-second stretch. Trying to find his way back in here to maybe support his teammate, but oh no. Oh, okay, yeah. And ends up being able to DI that at least.
Caught as well by the GC D-Sig from Lores. Another one of the reasons people love playing Kai, especially that D-Sig. Even that gravity cancel down heavy gets a hit on a Volst as well to KO off the top seed if they can clean up Volst here. Unfortunately, this game is really changing pace for the blue team here on the second stock. Down there gets the KO off the top. A little bit of team damage again from Kyna using that neutral light, maybe to send Lores over like a cannonball.
Yeah, I think honestly, like with the way that this is kind of shaking out, those first stocks they were able to get, whilst they were very good, it definitely felt like that was more Lores and kind of losing stocks than actually getting their stock taken. And so as of right now, they've been able to just clean it all the way back up, play a little more safe, not do anything crazy off the stage. That's that pass I'm talking about. The dash-in D-Sig is going to go ahead and get passed back over to Mojakin, who ends up getting the stock off. Wait, we're right back in it. Not too much damage here on Mojakin and Volst. That's a good-looking first game for him.
Yeah, you were talking about Stingray earlier on the Orion, and we've already seen that D-Sig on the spear, that Stingray, just the iconic play from BCX years ago that we know from him. Oh, the weapon toss down. There was a dodge from Lores. Gets to the down air. Lores continuing to get edge guarded over here. He's able to make it back on the platform. Unfortunately, Volst at weapon disadvantage. See if he can get back in, going in between red team members. The weapon spawn is stolen from him.
Oh my gosh, Volst right now definitely tapping a little bit of that groovement himself. He's getting all over the place. Wait a minute. Way down there. Oh, not him. Oh my God.
Okay. There's the down air. Oh, the KO just like that to end things. I was really respecting the offstage edgeguard game by Volst going in unarmed at weapon disadvantage against Kyna's hammer, and Kyna was the one to disengage in that moment.
Yeah, he's like, I gotta get out of here right now. I know it's one of those situations where sometimes trying to get a down air or a ground pound on the hammer can be super scary if they time their recovery in time, but Volst was not trying to hear that. He was willing to go above and beyond and try to get those stocks off. And I have to give it to Mojakin too. He definitely tried to get a clean save there on to Volst, but Lores had them all kind of held down with that weapon toss. A couple of, I think, a ground pound and maybe a down air in there as well too. Yeah, double down air off of the weapon toss. Good pickup also off that first weapon toss. So go ahead and re-grab it so you can get another down air.
Unfortunately for the blue team, they did have some lower damage numbers coming out, 282 from Mojakin and 392 from Volst. On the red team, it was actually Lores doing most of the damage. Typically, when we see a Taros on screen, we expect those higher damage numbers, but here it was Lores putting in the work for his team. 573 damage compared to Kyna's 483, but of course, 483 is not too bad whatsoever. That was primarily an axe game for Kyna. He does kind of go back and forth. I feel like maybe in 2v2s, he tends to be more on the axe side. You can live in those straight hits rather than like I'm gonna go for the stomp and the side air, maybe the stomp neutral air, and then sometimes things get interrupted with like a weapon toss or a straight hit here or there. So we'll see if that trend holds through for the rest of these games for Kyna, where he's really focused more on the axe. For Lores, I expect him to mostly be a spear gamer. That's the type of Kaya he is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Now that I think about it, I felt like I only saw that bow in his hand for a couple of shots, a couple of neutral lights to hit. But for the most part, yeah, that spear was definitely going to get some work done. Even off the first stock, you know, he tried to get I think a slide charge D-Sig off the stage. Yeah, I mean, like, he loves the spear. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know, sometimes you don't always have to play both of the weapons. That's why they get you two. You end up being a specialist of one if you just really like that weapon / that kit. I definitely end up doing that, I think, with Thea. Like, actually, I like boots a lot, and I was like, you know, this zooming around is kind of fun. So, but don't put a lance in my hand. Like, I can't do it. Cannot do it. So,
yeah, Laura is definitely one of the best spear players in the world. I don't know if that's necessarily the case here. Maybe we can figure out the answer to that a little bit more as this weekend plays out in 2s and 1v1s, given that we're at the Midseason Championship. Like, pretty much everybody is here. Like, BCX, everybody goes to it. Midseason, pretty much everybody is here. So we'll see how that plays out a little bit more throughout this weekend, whether or not. I'm trying to think, man, who is playing Spear better than Lores right now? I would love to see Stingray versus Lores in 1v1. That would be really fun to watch.
It's possible. You know, I saw Stingray yesterday, too. You know, was walking by as I think he was getting his badge. And I was like, how you feeling, champ? And he's like, you know, I'm feeling like I'm about to take it. Which, I don't care if you're actually about to take it or not. I like hearing that type of confidence. You know, I ask people that because
that's the right answer to the question. Whether you believe it or not, that's the right answer to the question.
Like, even if you're like, you know, I usually go 0-2, but today, I'm about to take it, dude. Like, yeah, I like that, man. That's the type of confidence I want to see. So, but it is definitely possible for him to do it. It's possible for a lot of people to actually get that first placement. As we like to say, it's never about who's the best. It's who's the best right now. Who's the best in this exact moment. That's really what matters. That's how you get some of the, you know, the rarity champions or the rarity spots that we've seen, you know, way back in the day. I think Impala, like, I don't think he was slated for anybody to think he was going to get that BCXW, and then boom, there he is, pulled up, got the BCXW, and made it happen. Here we are into our second game, though, right back to the Small Fortress Alliance. So they said it's definitely not the stage. We just got to go ahead and clean it up and lock in.
Yeah, no legend swaps from either of these teams going into this one. Okay, nice pickup there. It was a silent neutral air from Volst, and then unfortunately Mojakin didn't have a weapon, so his damage is going to be a little bit limited, but he did come in with the neutral air after that on the unarmed kit. Volst put out some great lance damage on the Kyna over on the left side. Again, a little bit more team damage coming out from the red team. This time it was Lores on the Kyna.
Okay. Right, back to the stage one more time. Volst, I mean, I really got to give it up to Volst, too. I feel like his movement, or at least his evasion, has been on 10 when it comes to getting through a lot of these like situations. He hasn't really taken too many straight hits. Hasn't got hit any team combos. Unfortunately, as I say that, does get hit with team combos there. That's after trying to save Mojakin. Mojakin gets sent out first, right after. Volst like, you know, I'm going to leave this party, too.
Now, I guess fortunately for the red team, the side air from Lores did get the KO. It was actually a whiffed neutral air from Kyna on essentially the free team combo. He's a little bit too early with it, but there was enough damage for Lores to get the KO. There's going to be Kyna losing his first stock off the top. Oh, just barely missing that recovery. That might have been a KO off the top. I'm not sure if that defense would have saved Lores there. There's the D-Sig. That's going to do it for sure.
D-Sig will definitely be covering a lot of space, especially when they use like that. We're seeing a lot of that dash and D-Sig for the punish. A lot of damage, decent knockback on it. Enough to go ahead and sling Lores out of here. Lores trying to sling Volst out of there real quick, though, but does not get the full completion of that passive blast zone.
Yeah, those are great side stick from Kyna. Okay, and there we go. There's the run back on it, and he gets the next nair after that for the full double KO off the top. It seems like Kyna and Lores are locking in now, not missing the timing on that whatsoever. And even the side stick that came up from Kyna on the right side, I believe it sent Volst. It might have been Mojakin, I'm not sure. And then Lores was already ready with the weapon toss from that spear. Just great follow-ups coming out from the red team so far.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one there from Volst.
Oh, nice
he actually is just going to drop, and yeah, now.
Oh, nice one.
What was Mojakin? It looked like he tried to get like a D light off the side and then immediately got picked up himself. I'm about to see that replay again, but yeah, that is exactly how you turn around a situation and take that game. That's champion-type gameplay coming out from Kyna Lores.
Yeah, last game, it really seemed like they're starting to dial things in. Last game, they had like Lores had like 150 team damage, and then Kyna had like 185 team damage, which is a lot. All of a sudden, this game, it's 39 team damage from Lores, 43 from Kyna. We're also seeing solid damage numbers across the board. We also saw the double KO from Kyna, and also here's the double KO from Kyna, and then like right after that, we saw the double KO from Lores. Going to be potentially coming in here. Nice GC side signature after that in-sig from Volst. Yeah, there was the down air. Lores comes back up. Here's the GCD light into the ground pound for a double KO from Lores as well.
Yeah, it looked like Mojakin was probably trying to catch Lores coming back up to the ledge a little faster, to the wall a little faster, trying to get that slide off D-light, but just put himself in harm's way to get actually D-light ground pounded there. Unfortunate for him, but yeah, I mean, great first game or second game there for Lores and Kyna. I just said, man, I saw exactly what I was expecting to see from Teros, though. Lores does a bunch of damage, passes over to Teros. Teros gets one hit, you're gone. And that's not even to say that he wasn't doing any damage. As you can see on the screen, 593 damage dealt. He was clearly hitting, hitting his opponents a lot.
Three, two,
we're always expecting
one,
to see Lores or Kyna get those stocks a little earlier than Lores will. Not to say Lores can't get the stocks, but just looking at the stat line alone, you know what Teros wants to do.
Now, unfortunately, the blue team hasn't been able to get any real long team combos going too often. It's the occasional one-hit, two-hit, and then Volst will end it with a D-Sig or some type of signature follow-up. Maybe it'll be Mojakin that gets the signature follow-up after 1 or 2 hits. So nothing huge, but you see it's always going in their mind. They're always looking for that opportunity. Exactly right there. There was the D-Sig.
That's good. I mean, that's what you have to do in doubles. You want to try to maximize that damage as much as possible, and passing to your teammate will do that for you quite a bit. Unfortunately, Mojakin might be the first one off of the stock yet again. They're chasing him down for sure.
I'm expecting the D-Sigs to come out from Volst soon. There was a neutral air landing. There's one D-Sig. See if he can go for another one here. Just a down air and the weapon toss. Didn't even need the weapon toss, but it was already going in the perfect direction.
And that was really good for Mojakin too. He forced that dodge out. Wow. What a pass right there. Laura is ready to go ahead and stomp him down. Don't even think he needed it, but you know what? Let's go ahead and send a message real quick. I do have that time. But yeah, I was going to say Mojakin forced that dodge earlier by getting that recovery out, which allowed Volst to just cover the ground with that down sig. They got those stocks first, but as of right now, it looks like Lores and Kyna are kind of in the driver's seat a little bit. Okay, everybody's taking some damage here.
Yeah, it's team damage all over the place, especially from the 2 spear players, doing a little bit of overlapping on one another. Everybody's in roughly the same damage at this point, so it's actually going to come out on top for the red team,
right,
just because you do less damage to your team.
Hey, Volst. Still just moving right here. Some more team damage being put on from the red team. Got to clean it up a little bit, but that was a nice little bait switch, kinda. Kyna's like, I can't get all the way up there, but Laura's like, I definitely will. Ends up getting that recovery as I think Mojakin was trying to land again. Did he just take out his teammate? Was that his down sig? Oh, no.
There's a D-Sig. Hopefully they can make up for it here. All right, there's the D-Sig and the follow-up. Okay, I was going to say, I was almost expecting the game to really slip away from them there. All of a sudden, we were going to look at 2 stocks on Lores, look at 2 stocks on Kyna. Then by the time we get to the end of the game, they were just going to be 2 stocks, but a little bit redder. But no, it was a great answer back from the blue team.
Volst now. Volst, I think he has probably taken on all of the stocks so far, though. So I got to see this damage that Mojakin's been able to do. As of right now, I feel like the red team has really just been kind of bullying Mojakin. Tried to get a pass back. I like that. Wanted to get a full combo into the recovery, but no hit from Volst there.
Oh, man, you just see the big damage coming out from Kyna there. He hit one blue team member, then he got the other one. Lores came in, got a follow-up off of that. There's the side air, going to be in sweat beads. There he is, the clash out. He can't get back in, even with the dodge. Even if he could, Kyna was right there, able to cover it if that miracle happened.
Yeah, it looked like he wanted to try to get that dodge to touch the lowest part of the wall, like the pixel part of the wall, but he actually needed to dodge up forward.
Yep.
Yeah, I think he was clearly going to get either ground pounded or dared or something like that, just to push him way down and pass that blast on one more time. So good games all together, but Lores and Kyna will be walking away again, moving their way over, trying to get into that top 8, trying to get that first place spot.
Yeah, so they went from a tough Game 5 situation into this 3-0. It started off looking like it was going to be a little bit more even. That second game especially,